Let's see if this mic works. Good afternoon. Get the vracht, lost. I asked. Is my voice okay? Before I start speaking and saying everything. Can you hear me? No, hear me. No, okay. Is it better now? Okay. So you can start sharing your screen. I'll join. I seen your post today, so I seen that you have exactly the same bias that I have, so yeah. Exactly where your error is actually where your 4-hour FVG also stands. That's exactly where my TP was from this morning. So I believe a bit above, but that was almost the halfway of that of that gap actually. So that's exactly where my TP was, full TP. So I believe the same. So I wanted to see retracement halfway that gap and then actually see bullish momentum up to the highs. that's okay. A few days off screen is needed, so that's important too. If you actually are a trader, sometimes you need some days off of the screen. That's okay, guys. The reason why you need some data off is actually to get back the energy that you need, because it takes a lot of energy while we're actually behind the screens. After a while you get used to it, but still it is time consuming, and we have to have freedom, of course. I want to say good morning or good afternoon, everybody. This morning trade is still actually in play. What we were doing, I shared it in things. So my full TP was actually 23,422. That was my full TP, and actually we're not there yet. So, but if you actually were in the morning session with me, we hit my point of interest. So that was 23,492. That was the last liquidity that I wanted to see grab, and now it's up to the market if it still wants to fall a little bit further before continuing up, yes or no. That we'll see an open. If open actually takes London's low, what probably will happen, we could see the immediately bullish reaction off of it, or we can actually go a little bit lower to 23,400 halfway after value gap, and then see that continuation. For anybody that actually is trading orb range, let's hope we actually get to that point before the opening of the range, or that we have a very small range that we can actually trade until there. Further shorting, if the market does not have any news. Do we have news this afternoon? Okay, Trump signs exclusive orders. So this could maybe do something this afternoon at 4 o'clock. So for me that's in about half hour. So Trump signed something. I have no idea what he is signing at this point, but you know the markets like to move when he does speak, when he opens his mouth. But we can only be positive with it. So the Fed pushed the market up, so I believe he will do the same at this point. I just see it on my propfirms. So in propfirms you actually have a place where you can actually watch it immediately, and there you can always see it actually. So I find it very interesting. They have it on the same page, and almost everything is inside. So orange, blue folders, actually all folders are inside. And sometimes house sailing actually does move the market a few points. That is unexpected to just take some internal liquidity and then move in the direction it actually wants, but it can actually move the market to some point of liquidity. So I believe it will become red folder very soon. Also I see the market actually move sometimes 20, 25, 30 points instantly, so that's actually not so small for an orange folder. So 5 minutes we have open, and yeah. Yeah, same here. At the moment, I'm not allowed as long as I'm a student of preservation. I set one strategy only for 12 weeks, and I'm still trading one strategy only for 12 weeks. So I made a couple of less hours this month, but that's okay. It's I can trade more than one strategy if I want to, but I keep the rule for my students, so I take the rule myself also. So I took initiative to test out a new strategy straight away live. What I did test it already a few times live, but now I'm fully only trading that one strategy. So well, I want to see how good it actually would serve everybody too. So, and because I'm always online with all of you, I actually don't take another hour out of my schedule to trade beside with all of you. So 4 hours is more than enough for me actually at this point. Yeah, you have the most we take the most volatility. So we are here at London Open, and we are here at the Open actually of New York. So we actually have both most volatile moments at the day. So we actually can trade both sides if we want to. But everybody trading one session at this point, so keep at it. I must say I've seen that most of you keep to your structured plan. Congratulations, guys. This is actually the only way you will become profitable. One strategy, more than enough. Make it simple, and actually Orb is a very easy, simple strategy to follow. Once you actually know how to add a bit and you can actually see where liquidity is, we can actually make more than a decent amount of money that you can actually make just with the Orb strategy. It's very good also find it for traders actually to start learning a strategy. Easy to implement, no thinking needed actually, just with seeing where liquidity is. To adjust your contract size when you start with it, but for the rest, it's actually a very easy strategy to start learning to follow a strategy. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, he has swept London. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I came beautiful in a 15-minute for value capital still. No, that was not a 15-1 stop. The 5-minute it came into, yeah. That was the, yeah. So Orb traders under us, if you're still trading Orb, be patient. We're still only a few minutes in, so we need that full 15 minutes before we can do anything. But well, orb works actually pretty fine. You just need to know when to take volume off your contract, so when you see an orb actually change direction and it feels like the market actually does not want to go that way, you need to be able to take contracts off. And the second thing you only need to do is learn how to add to contracts. If you can do both of those and you actually let the market do its thing, then you make actually at least $10-15 a month. So with orb, and you can take them every day. Then it doesn't need to be you have to actually take them every day. And if you take them every day, I tested it, I've front tested it, and you can actually make it easy every month with 10 months. But the thing is, once we get to a point like here, you actually need to know where liquidity is. This is actually one of the most important things in orb. If you don't know where liquidity pools are or where they rest, it's not easy then to say where the market wants to go to. So those things you need to know. And this is you learn by seeing us do it constantly and seeing repeatedly the movement of the market. And once you see the movement of the market, like you can say, well, the same what you would say that you want to change halfway the gap here, what you draw on. Wait a second, let me see my screen. So where the point just below is the line that you draw where the market wants to come to, that's the same area where I see. So these are liquidity pools. You need to be able to see them. Once you can see those, orb is actually very easy to use. So yeah, I understand. I don't touch anything fast. I prefer slow trades. It makes much more relaxing and calming of the human. It's already a very hard mind game trading, so that's why psychology and making sure you have a good functional plan which you can actually follow step by step and actually make that you feel comfortable and have faith in what you're trading. Trading is actually full psychology, so if I do it fast, I get the same emotions, but I got them like all at once. If you do it slowly, you can actually recognize your emotion much easier and keep control over them. This is how I see it actually, so because otherwise we get like everything pressed together in 1 minute and you get all of them together. Okay, somebody maybe likes it fast, but I like it calm and relaxing more when I'm trading, so it actually gives me time to breathe, gives me time to just sit here and be patient. It's a good thing to learn. So if anybody want to see my screen at the meantime, I'm also streaming it on YouTube, so you can also see my screen there. I need to learn how to actually share it on Discord too. So normally I know you can share it like in a webcam version. I need to figure out just how. So actually I can share a second screen on YouTube. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll share mine. That's okay. Yeah, I need to find my screen because I can hear this. So this was our full TP, and we took 20 points left. Adam, if orb breaks on the upside, we need to take this. This is all positive. We swept liquidity, all of it, and we came almost halfway into this Fergali gap. 15 minutes. That was a 1 hour. It's a 4 hour too, I believe. Yeah, it's a 4 hour too, so almost halfway. So this is actually a very nice sign that we actually could continue are starting to change hands and actually continue up higher. Yep, which, if we can long this, this can actually easily go to that high. Do we have some gaps inside? That's a 3.9. Do we have any gaps here? Not on the 5, not on the 3, not on the 2 either. So, ooh, this is. Yeah, I see it too. See if we can get it if we enter here. How much that would take? Oh. How much should that be? 78 points. 1.6. Yeah, let's just be patient. We have another 5 minutes until the market shows us what we want to see, and then we can decide. Just looking ahead, how much contracts actually. So this is actually something you can do while you're just sitting there also. It's actually measuring how much contracts we will need in the next 5 minutes when we are closed. So this helps you to know exactly what you need to add. Now, what was it about? Oh. What I don't want to see in this market is the next 3, 4, 5 minutes going sideways again. That I don't want to see from this market. What traders should now be almost, yeah, I would have taken my exit right here once we got again under that opening range immediately. This was full TP, so it was actually very close. Most of people already took some profits, and I believe most of them went out at TP1 just a bit higher. That was orb, so I was not allowed to trade it, so I didn't take it. Yeah, that was almost a sick. This morning was actually a very beautiful play, and just when we started moving the orb, we actually got halfway the first range. Otherwise, this would have been a 6 to 8 hour play. It was actually a very beautiful trade. And these small big, oh actually small big ones actually. Make sure that actually you get to that 10 hour a month, because you do have a little bit downside is that we can give some hours back to the market, but on the upside, once we have a good week in London session or pre-London session, you can actually sometimes have a full day range. So if we start here and we have the full day range, if you can take this whole day in one trade, This is how actually you get to those huge R's. Yeah, but now, and how has your weekend been? Okay. What did we do Saturday and Sunday? Sunday we went actually to a festival for my kids. She wanted to see something, and it was actually worth nothing, not really something that I wanted to see. And the day before, what did we do? Yeah, no, I finished with all my rules intact, so I was allowed to do something that I did like. Yeah, you have to treat yourself. You have to treat yourself also something that if you kept yourself say for 5 days to your rules the first week, you have to also give yourself some positive feedback too, so your brain actually also remembers. Okay, when I'm too good, I get something nice for myself too. So now, if we see the market now at this point, this is actually a point where we can have a nice reaction. So we came up, we took some liquidity. Now here, this is the last 1 minute for value gap on this orb. Now we got fully tapped. So if this one gets tapped and we continue now to the highs, that would be a beautiful play. Now we actually came back, closed everything. We took some internal liquidity that was built up already. We took it out, and now if we continue higher, that would actually be a beautiful continuation movement. How many points is this? The orb itself is 75 points. And because we don't have any for value gaps left inside, we can actually still we can put them off. No, we still have one right here. It depends if the market goes lower. No, we still have one right here, so stop should be here then. So that should be a stop then. I actually do like, yeah, I actually do like them if they're like 110, 120, because I then know most of the time that we have a beautiful continuation movement afterwards. Because the market already is going up or is already falling, so it doesn't matter which one. But once we have like 2 or 3 candles hugely formed immediately, they intend to actually continue for another 120, 200 points. Okay, it's 1 hour, and if we can add maybe a little bit more, maybe 1.5, maybe 2, easy. But that's actually a very easy play because it immediately starts to fall and go directly away. So if you see those movements and you have like an entry of a retracement, that's actually a very nice continuation movement to take. Once you see these moves. So yeah, at this point we just being patient again, like always. We need that candle close anyways. I'll see if my wife will trade today. I'm not sure that she will. She took profit this morning, so she did take orb this morning. Who's up for giving her a channel in the group? Let me hear, guys. That she shares her trades too. So every time she took one. Let's do it, said Blake. Yeah, she's very dedicated, and she's actually one that actually yeah, when she starts something, she finishes it immediately. So she keeps doing it over and over again. And she's actually, she did not take a partial, so she actually let it run all the way. So, and she never put her stop at BE2. It was full TP or nothing, she said. So she let it go. Just, yeah, that's, she's at mindset related. A lot of good traders who are in here should actually can learn a lot from her mindset too. She actually has no feeling whatsoever on the market, from the market. So when she's trading, she doesn't feel anything. Maybe she does, but she doesn't. Let me say that. She doesn't actually let it influence her. Yeah. Let it influence her trading style. She knows, she trusts the plan, and she knows the plan will make her what she wants. And it's a good mindset to have, but it's not the easy one. If you have that one immediately. Vergeet niet dat je aan het kijken bent? I hit him at cake. So not sure that I actually should stream this afternoon on YouTube. There's like nobody watching. Everybody is in here. So we got the first 5 minutes did not close outside the range, so we're still inside. And at this point, actually, both for value gaps are holding. So let me explain. So we came into this 1 minute for value gap, and we actually never took the high. So we're still inside this one. And then actually we came back to the other side, and this is value gap, and we never took a low. So we're actually inside the range now. So market can still decide to go both sides. But they're building up again that liquidity that they constantly do over and over again. So this is actually a very nice thing to see when you're actually, so we did sweep that low. So we created a 1 minute for value gap in here. So we took internal liquidity, and now it's needs to decide. So if we break to the up, that would be a very beautiful play. If we break to the downside, that's something different. Let's see if we do break to the downside, can we actually take this? We'll go somewhat the same range. How far can we maximum take this? Yeah, this would be still doable, but that would be actually the maximum that I want to take out of it. Here I definitely would start taking to look some profits on the wicks high. You could take, this is actually data, so most of the times we actually do sweep data candles, so this is actually a full data candle too. Because it started right here. And we never swept it, so this is still intact. So the possibility is that we can sweep this if we go lower. But I'll tape read the market once we actually get there, so we can decontract if it does not need it. So no matter what I see in the markets, I will never have a bias on orb. So once it presents itself, we just have to take it and see where we can take it to. Can you guys go over why you expect price to go back to the highs on the 4-hour charts? It is still on a bearish formation, even though power candles Friday just brought the structure back to the channel. Market the 4. Okay, let's go to the 4-hour. So let me actually take sessions. Yeah, so that's actually a very good question. So now we actually did change structure here. We didn't take the daily, so still believe that the 4-hour comes above the day. The daily comes above the 4-hour. So once we break this one, then I believe we go a lot lower. Now at this point, we actually took lows. We came into also a 4-hour for value gap. we did not sweep everything. We did change structure here because we actually made new low. Now this is a high, but it can also be an internal high. So I want to see that first low come below here again to be 100% sure. Now, what else am I seeing? 1 hour, structure to the upside at this point, completely changed structure. So once we get to under this full TP and we can break this low again, then I'm 100% sure we go lower. At this point, there is more to the upside than the downside. We came halfway back, that's for value gap. So here is a good point of interest that we actually move up the market again. Reason why is first, the daily structure is still bullish. We did not make a lower low. We still made a high. So this is actually a lower high, and now we can still continue. The 4 hour did take this, but as long as the daily does not do it, I still want to see that complete change. Now, we can have both things today. Actually, first of all, we came into for value gap of daily, and we traded halfway. If this market candle comes closing below that low, then we will probably take out that daily, and then we become fully bearish. As long as it does not happen today, this still looks like a bullish candle, first of all, and then I want to see how we react off of this. Do we fall? Okay, then we can say we're going lower. At this point, I'm open to both suggestions. So it does not mean that I want to see fully back up to the highs. The only reason why I want to see it go higher now is we swept liquidity. We swept actually 2 time zones, so 2 trading sessions. So here Asia was swept, here London is now being swept. So the most easy target now for liquidity would be those highs. Here is a lot of liquidity that's shorting the market at this point. So what does the market tend to do? It wants to always go after liquidity. So what do we take? We take high. So this is actually all long positions that are under here. So most of them got taken out just right now in the opening part. And if the market does not immediately continue lower right here, we probably want to take out some higher liquidity. So which are the targets? First target would still be this gap right here on a 1 hour based. If we can manage to go through it, well, what's next target? That high, and then see if we can continue a bit higher. So that would be London's high, and that would be taken out both. And if we actually want to go lower, what do we need? We need buy side liquidity. So we need those liquidities here to actually also push the market lower. So it depends on what the market actually now wants to show us. Because there is no news actually today, there is a bigger possibility that the market just will do the normal flow of markets. And what is that? Actually internal liquidity back to external. This was external liquidity, so what did it do? It came back internal. So now the next logical reason is to go back to external. So what's an external liquidity? Right here, a session high is external liquidity or high highs. This is why I actually still see that the market could come lower. We traded in, we took out trendline liquidity, so we came up. Now we came back down halfway. We are inside this 1 hour, but still also 4 hours. So I do see this, but I want to see, because of this huge candle back up, I want to see if this actually holds. And if it does, we probably take out that high first, because this high holds now the most liquidity. Otherwise it needs to come back all the way here. And that's another, how many points? 400 points. So I don't see the market drop 400 points today. I do see it go up for another 138, so that's much logicaler, but yeah, markets are not always logic. So this is just why I see the market, I prefer to see the market go up. So 3 minutes till the close now. We're still inside our range, so hope nobody is pressing any buttons until we actually do that. So just because we took out most liquidity, Blake, I want to see it go up. That's the reason why. That's the main reason why. And if we close a 15 minute right here, that would mean a 15 minute change of structure also, that we can go up higher. Hourly, we are building up liquidity for 3 hours already, so. And the 4 hour, this still looks downwards movement, so. Hope that explained. Yeah. So this is why I actually say sometimes POI, point of interest, is where a lot of liquidity is arrested. Full TP is just because I know most of the time the market just comes to these areas. That's all. Doesn't always have to. Like I said, how much did this go? 444, 23,444, so I missed it by 22 points. My full TP, so yeah. I did mention in the group to take some profit, so. So, look at that bullish. Yeah. 1 minute. It's 2 minutes before the news, so we will be immediately in the news if we do close above. I would definitely take this if we do have any gaps. Let's see, the 2 minutes does not have any gaps. Does the 1 minute? Let's hope not. Actually, it doesn't. But that's actually a good sign. Yeah, it does not have any closes, so halfway, or it depends on this candle now how it's formed. So if this 5 minutes closes and the next one actually goes up higher, so that would be the stop right here then. If we do close above and continue, and the next one if this one creates a 5 minute for value gap, this should be a stop. If it does not create a 5 minute for value gap, we can put it on halfway. But we actually need another 5 minutes after this one to see this. So I would put my stop, if I was trading this, I would put it on 23,468 if we go up. 0.75. Just because I think ahead, if this creates a for value gap inside, the stop needs to be here. That was exactly the same what happened. So 10 seconds, I'll just stay on the screen here for a second. What? Do we have a close? Yes, no. That did actually close above, so very small one. It did, and it actually immediately started moving up. Not sure if everybody got in on this exact point. Oh, we did tap immediately that 1 hour for value gap. So this was the first actually buy side liquidity that we could still take. Now I do want to see that continuation rather fast, because we were building up liquidity on both sides. We detect now the upper one. That was what we were going to say before we actually breached that. It was just the same with Powell on Friday. The orb actually, that was actually shit. Not smart move to put where we actually put our stop. That was actually right here, I believe. No. Yeah, this was Powell's, right? Yeah. I believe this was the 2:30. That was the 3 o'clock. This one is 2:30 here. Oh, that was a 3:30. So this actually was the candle display, because of a 5 minute for value gap. Right here, a stop should be on this wick. I left it alone, and it actually flew up. And I actually wanted to reduce a bit, and I put in my stop right here. So by not following the full movement, and my wife didn't see it either, so that was the first time that she actually did not see it, and she was not happy with herself. So otherwise she always puts her stops on those things, and that was actually a beautiful play afterwards. So this is actually why we keep those for value caps, if we put our stops under them. I've seen it too many times happen if we put a halfway, or we have some kind of footprint inside, that we actually miss it, or that we actually get tapped off of it and then continue the movement. This is actually also why we use them, to add to positions, and how we move our stops up, or trail stop loss movement also up. So because we tap those for value gaps and we continue the move, this is actually then the new protected stop under that. So this is how we actually move up our trades. Who hold the longest actually this morning? Oh yeah, and pre-London session. Anybody in here that did pre-session with me? I did, okay. Hope you're not trading at this afternoon, Beaumont, that you can keep your profits that you made. Or if you did not make your daily max profits, okay, yeah, then maybe you can if you want to, but a profitable day above an hour is always a good day. I do prefer 2 hours or more, but this also builds up confidence in the trade plan. So we're now like, yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Five 1 9, so somewhere here. That's actually the same place here. 519. So 519 you mean, eh? Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is on 518, so it depends on what people actually entered it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, or everybody knows this kind of trade, man. So orb trade, guys, we know, relax. It takes about at least a half hour to an hour within the trade, so don't mind shit. Yeah, if you go soon on BE, I would probably be patient and see how we breach out London's high at least. We will take out this liquidity. It looks too strong to do anything else right now. Those are two beautiful 5-minute candles, so we can come back now to where we come back. So we have, if we create a new one, so this would be the next value gap, and then see if we can actually tap it and then continue the high movement. If we do see that continuation, we can add to this trade even, and then we could put our stops then to at least that wick, because we don't want to come back here one lower than. But yeah, you can do as you please, euros. Most of the traders in here that trade up know the full mechanical way how to take this. I hope the people that are trading this still and did not trade this morning are in it. But I encourage you to hold as long as you can actually for this trade and see if the market actually wants to push high before putting a BE. I've seen it multiple times happen at the market and tap into one for value gap one more time and then continues with the orb. So orb you can actually go at least for 5 to 7 minutes or 10 minutes even in another positive trade. I don't know if you trade minutes or what time frame do you actually trade at this point? Yeah, euros. What time frame do you actually trade at this point? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Fully understand. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's a previous choice. Yeah, yeah, it's a previous choice. Yeah. So I encourage the most of the traders to hold on to the trades as long as possible before going to VE. Actually, be patient until we and the work trades. Be patient until we see a new fair value gap get tapped, and then breach the high again. Then we can move that up. If we do come back down and we have then that continuation, that would be an awesome adding spot actually. But once we actually hit London's high, so say that we now hit this one immediately, then I don't want to see the markets react fast back down after this high. If that happens, then I would say, yeah, then I want to go up higher with my stop. Reason why is if this is that liquidity pool, it just needs to go lower. It should change hands immediately. It can stall, it can go a little bit back, but it has to continue rather fast at this point here. So if I see the market, then after we take out that buy side liquidity and see the market move after session, I see the market retrace immediately back to that low and stall here a bit like this, and then a bit back up. If it does that right here, then I know it wants to go lower to this point. So that I don't want to see. Once we breach that high, of course. As long as we don't breach that high, because these are equal, as good as equals right here. As long as we don't take that high and we do not do these kind of movements and we actually stay above here, a little bit back and then continue, that would be a great play. Now we see it actually go all the way to Asia high, or maybe even the highs. This is actually how I see it. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. No. It's good to tell, because I'm sure that other people feel the same way. This is actually why we need to test strategies that they work first of all, and then also do the front testing, because then you feel the emotions and you feel everything come up. I must congratulate a few of you also that you actually done most of the homeworks. Some of you actually will be very easy good traders, my guys. I'm very impressed with some of your work. Some lack a little bit, but the ones that are going heavy in it, yeah, you guys will make it. You have the mentality. You're doing it for almost 4 weeks now constantly, so keep up. So that means that you actually have the mentality to keep persistence too, because 4 weeks constantly and doing something over and over again, that's good work, guys. If you keep doing this for the next other 8 weeks, if you give me a journal, I'm sure that I can make it profitable. I'm 100% sure. If not, I need to find out why you're not profitable. I want to make it my life's goal to make actually all of you profitable. Make it easy. I want to stop making this industry look like nobody can do it. It's actually not such a. It's actually an easy industry once you get the mindset correctly. Once you got that one fixed, and everything is perfectly feeling easy, chilled, normal, without actually feeling anything when you're in it straight. So once I'm in the straight, I know it's in, so I'm okay with it. It does what the market wants to do. We cannot push the market any direction anyways. The only thing that we can do is control our stop. If we're okay with the stop where it is, and we know the market does this thing anyways, we need to be patient and see what it brings. The market can go easy up here, or we can just say, okay, fuck, I don't want to do this today. I'll just take out London's high and I come back down. So we don't know. Nobody knows. We actually just can see it at the point itself, how it moves, and then we can say, okay, this market feels strong. It still has beautiful big candles. We have a small retracement to grab some liquidity and then continue. Yeah, this actually looks like a beautiful play. This we can see, but we need to wait. And look now, this 50 seconds. I do want to see that push as high as it can, this candle, close. If it comes back to that orb range, that would look less good. Once it closes all the way up to hit this high, that looks very nice then. Then that's a beautiful 15 candle. Yeah. I actually don't believe I explained that one yet, but people use this. Not sure if, does anybody use the standard deviations on trading? So if you put your Fibonacci, you put dragon from the high and the low of the orb, this is actually one standard deviation, so that this is actually a beautiful candle. So guys, this looks good. So 1.5 standard deviations would be just above Asia high, actually this liquidity pool. So they use the standard deviations to actually, if they don't know where liquidity is, so they indicate a point where you could take profits. They are normally just below the liquidity pools, the standard deviations. So 1.5 standard deviation is like the standard where we take warp off. Yeah, it can help new people actually to see how actually you can develop a skill from where does liquidity rest, and what. Yeah, this is how you can actually see it easier, because it is like an indication that it helps you describe. Okay, if I don't see the liquidity pools, what can I else use? Constantly easy targets where I can actually want the market to go to. So these would be actually easy targets where the market wants to go to, and I believe this would be something like 0.5. I didn't. So I heard that one too many times, but this is why we are actually teaching, so that we actually can show everybody in here where liquidity is. So if we can, if you can spot liquidity or a spot where actually stops should be put, or where people put their stops, then you can trade perfectly. Then you can trade any market. You just need to be a bit patient, see how the market moves and reacts, and then if you know where liquidity lies and on which ones they react, yeah, that's easy. So, on which liquidities does the market always react? First of all, they react on sessions highs and lows. What do they also react on? Are daily highs and lows, weekly highs and lows, and then internal liquidity does it react on too, and those are, you can make it easy, just use for value gaps. Use them on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, and those are the most common what they react off. And that's it. More you actually don't need to know. And yeah, you can also see liquidity like on the on the trend line. So once we break this, we take now this liquidity right here. So this is internal, a little bit lower. We can draw another one. So we're taking it. So now if we take that high, we probably will take out this high, that one, and that one. The full high that can still be maybe a little bit more protected, but if this is not a protected stop for any fair value gap inside that's higher, yeah, we take out that high. If we take out that high and it does not react, next point is somewhere here. It will be around this area. And markets can go that high, easy. But before we get there, we just need to be patient and just read the market while we are at it. So continuation markets are easy to read. Why are they easy to read? We come in some form of footprint always, we take some internal liquidity and we immediately push back off. So if this should tap here, we can tap and we should push immediately back off. What can we see? A 3 minute, same. So if 3 minutes came in for value gap, it tapped and continued the movement. That's also an indication that it actually wants to continue that bullish momentum that we are trading inside. And this is actually how you constantly, slowly follow and see how these candles are created. They speak a language, so it's on us to actually start listening and understanding it little bit by bit, of course. For most of you have me heard say this probably already a few times. I feel like I'm repeating. The funny thing about this is actually that anybody in here, we are actually not. If you're trading with real funds, that's something different. But if you're not trading with real funds, the market doesn't even know you're there. So, so it's not trading us. We're not trading against the market. We need to follow the market. So if the market does not want to do what we want to do, we need to be adjustable and say, okay, the market today does not want to give me what I want to see. And if it does not, okay, then we have to make sure that we actually decrease our profit, or make sure that we take something off the table. So if you put your stop at halfway or at BE, that would have been your stop right now. Not sure that you did. So we now closed out completely that 15 minutes, so that's perfectly normal. So we just came back, we touched that. We actually closed that for look how near we just closed the two wicks with each other, so we actually closed that full candle. That's all what happened at this point. Same here, we came into that 5 minute for value gap, and now I do want to see that continuation push. So now I would love to see actually us close above. If we do, then we can put that stop right here. And it's okay for me, because we actually made a structure and we formed a new one then afterwards. So now I want to see the close above this high, full body close of course, and then we actually can put our stops here and then let the market do its thing further. We got another 7 minutes in this 15 minutes, so that can take another 7 minutes, so chill. Did actually not watch if anybody said something. Happy to see Bulenox. You're not trading, keep you to your plan. Congratulations, man. Let's hear. Okay, let's hear it. What kind of music do you listen to? Yeah, okay. Can you share? Can you share it with us? Oh, didn't see it. Obviously, okay, wait a minute. Let me play it. Oh. That was loud. Can you hear this?
Nope.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay. How can I share it on this?
I'm not sure. I think you have to share the browser to actually share this sound.
Oh yeah, that's possible.
Nooit meer.
I think on YouTube you can because I work with OBS. And that's different. Okay, let me take. Can you hear it now? Do you still hear it now? I want to change the page? Okay, great. Let me know if that's too loud, because that's actually quite loud for me. Okay, that is better. I still got my headphones on, so that was pretty loud in my ears. So, we got about 4 minutes left in this 15 minutes, and let's see if the market wants to keep going up. It looks good, guys, so let's be patient. I still got my headphones on, so that was pretty loud in my ears. We got about 4 minutes left in this. Okay, so I've just put it on the screen, adding. So if we close above that high, we have a candle close. That's an adding spot actually. So if I was in this trade, I would add. We still got another to Asia high is yeah, still a decent play for an adding spot. That's another 40 points. That's at least the 1 hour that you can actually add a half hour. This is BE, so you can put this at a half hour. That is how much stops would that be? That would be 40 point stop that you still have. So that's halfway of this point stop actually. So it's 53. Okay, that's a bit less than half. You can add a half hour right here if you want to, and then put your stop at that last wick right here, and then see that continuation movement. This is now 608, but full TP right here, that would be 650, yeah. Yeah, that would be full TP, but I would rather take maybe this week 37 or something. I've seen it happen a few times, so that would be TP. So that would be. How do I like the what? Oh, for me that's okay. Yeah, It was just a bit loud to speak, I believe, to everybody. So that's why I put it a bit. Yeah, if I'm speaking, it's not as easy, I believe, to speak through something like that. It was okay. Yeah, it would be relaxing for me. So adding would be at the high of 23,561. We need a body close above that. Now you can move your stop actually to that if you want to. So if you don't add that, actually you can choose then if you want to put your stop at BE or if you want to take a partial at a high. That's up to you. This is how I would play it. Once we get to that Asia high, I'll probably want to see how we react actually of these gaps right here. There are small 5-minute value gaps not finished before we take out Asia high. This actually looks good. 15-minute looks actually still okay, so that 20-second actually pushed up higher, so close a bit higher would be great. I prefer it a bit higher. Nonetheless, let's see how this reacts. I do prefer not to come back under that 23,519 right now. If we come back to entry, I would probably exit the trade. The only thing that we can come look for is actually that 50 right here, together with an hourly. Because we already came down, I actually do want to see us move up higher here. As long as we're just going sideways, I'm all okay with it. That's what markets like to do. How did everybody like Euros's music? Did you guys hear it anyways? Or do you prefer Mozart, what I'm playing normally? I liked it. Okay, nice that. Okay. That's good that it's energizing and that it gives you energy. Happy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my meditation music is something it's different. But yeah, no, it's okay. Would not be my. Yeah. You said it. Yeah, this sounds okay. But I will not get fully pumped off of it. Let me say it like that. So, but it's a nice music. It's a nice tune. It's without vocals, so that's something I very much like about music too. There's no speaking inside, so. Yeah. If we have a candle close above this high, yeah, I would probably put them stops same. I would put them also at B here, or around that entry point. Actually, at that wick low. Let me say it like that. If your entry is higher, this wick low is the last liquidity grab we should not come back to after we take out that high. Can you guys hear me with this music on, or do I actually need this? Put it off. I have actually no idea because I just hear it in my headphones, but I don't hear if it's hearable when I'm speaking. Could you guys understand me when I was speaking while the music was playing? Yes or no? Just let me know. Did I know? Okay, great. Yeah, because I know that not everybody probably goes through headphones. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, that's fully understand. That's the same what I say in the morning session. When it reaches 10 o'clock, I always get offline. So I also say to the rest, TP, stop, everything is placed, so let the market do its thing. If we come back and we made money, it's great. If we did not, we followed the perfect plan. We did everything what we could do, so I just let the market, yeah, give it what it wants to give you and be happy with it. It's computer. I see that everything works again. It was OBS that actually stopped moving. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I do want to see continuation here because we came to that high once. I don't want to see it come back down now. We do need that continuation. Especially because it's a 5-minute closure, so this 5-minute actually does need to close all the way up here. If we come back down, we could sit chopping around for the whole day and we don't want to be part of that anyways. So anybody that's in here, you can, for me personally, I would, even without having that close above that high, I would put my stop right here now at 23,519. The reason why is, first of all, we came to that high for one time, so we took out most of the liquidity. Now if we do not close above that, that means that there is some form of selling pressure right here at this area, and that means that if we do come back down, then we could sit around here for the rest of the day, and that would be silly for giving anything back to the market at this point. So if we put our stop right here, we're actually at the safe spot. Most of everything should be in profit already, or you should be at BE or almost at break even right here. So you gave almost nothing to the market, and if we hit TP, we get actually a nice profit out of it. So 1 minute. Okay. So you have 1 minute and 46 seconds. If you adding, I don't want you to put more than a half hour at this point inside that trade, and that would be exactly the same spot. So that together with your first trade, you should not get more than a half hour stop if you do have more than a half hour and you're willing to give this to the market, do it. But if you start with this adding spot positioning, I would start with a half hour. So if the market comes back, you only gave actually a half hour to the market. We started with a full hour risk, and you would get an extra. If we get full TP right here, you would get an extra 1 point. That's almost a 0.9 for a half hour risk, and this one actually would still be 2 hour. But we do need that continuation right here before that can happen, and I do want a candle close of a 5 minute above that, a high, before you can add to. So no candle close, no adding. Should ask my wife to share a screen too now and then. But she's in this too, so. So nobody close. Just be patient. We actually almost took out our high, that was very close. So in this hourly, I do want to see us close above that high actually. That I would very much prefer that happened before we continue. I'm gonna tell also why. So we came out in a bit of a bearish structure. We came in a value gap, and now we're actually also tapping a 1 hour right here. That high actually here are actually equal highs. So if we sweep one, this value gap holds no more strength in it, so we actually will continue higher then. But as long as we don't sweep those here, this actually still can change hands. So always watch where liquidity pools are, because we just swept liquidity, we came inside that value gap, and now I do want to see that push to continue higher. So in this hourly, I do love to see actually that high get swept. So we got about 70 more minutes in this high. So by then it's 5 o'clock. Yeah, I would put stops right here at our last week's. So that would be here. That would be at 23,519. The reason, yeah, because we took that high, we actually came near that high again, and if we come back down, we will. The only thing that we can come still is this pool here. So there's still one more for 15-minute value gap, but that means that in the next 15 minutes we actually need to come back and all the way back to the high. That's a pretty decent move to take, while the market is not actually having any new 66 points in 15 minutes. Doesn't always happen, so just see what happens. If you are almost at, if your stop says at 25.19, you can only be like with what, 5 points maximum and not profit. So at this point the market still looks okay, so nothing has changed the structure, everything still looks the same. The only thing that we did take is some external liquidity right here, so I do want to see now, if we take that internal a little bit, I do want to see immediately that push back up, that's all. Because actually London high was not taken here, but did the ES take it? No, oh, we are far away, so even. But look, ES is also closing a little bit lower at this point, so. That's all. This is actually the reason, because we took some external liquidity. I don't want to see us fall all the way back in here. There's no reason for. So give another 15 minutes max, and then I'll call it a day for this day for trading. And your stops are already at almost even, so once we close above that high and we take out a full body, I would add, of course, first TP would be looking around 23,600, that level. Yeah, make it that level. A lot of even numbers. So this level would actually be looking for first TP. $23,600. So that would actually give you a half hour extra on this one, and that would make 1.5 hour. That's actually just below Asia high, so if this liquidity wants to be taken, we probably get to that round number. Again, here market is just taking both sides of liquidity, upper part, lower part, and now it's hanging around, so not doing anything. Oh yeah, so for anybody who was not for sure, we should move stop now to halfway to be something. Almost break even. To 23,915. So this would be stop. If the market comes back, it is what it is then. That was a good read of the market. That just means that the market did not want to continue high. That's all. I put on your music again, so you can wake up again. Oh, okay, so now. Lena, heb je een beet aangezet? Hoe lang mocht je nog? Een kwartier mocht je nog. Wat zie je dat je gedaan hebt? Hoe lang heb je dan gedaan? Hoe lang heb je dan gedaan? Hoe lang ben je dan opgegaan vandaag? We hebben net al een half uur gedaan. Dat goed? Ja? Toch wel iets langer dan een kwartier volgens mij. Oh, oké, dat is goed. Oké. Wat is schoenen? Had ik eentje schoenen?
ze nog langzaam?
Ja, moet dan niet verwezen houden.
Of wil je dat hier ligt?
Market looks good. So exactly what we expected. We came back, we took some small internal liquidity, and now we're just moving back up. So this is why. As long as it keeps you awake and the market gives us what it wants, I want to put this music up every day. I'm okay with it. So. En een body closet. Of TP bedoel je? Wat is TP of wat dingen bedoel je? Adding? Oh. Dat is TP. So we now have that 7 seconds until we have that close. So if you add, that would be the adding spot. But this is also a point of interest because we just swept London's high right here. So if you did add, you should actually not be much higher than your entry point. If you added one contract, maximum that you could have added was one contract. So you should actually be not that much higher your entry. If you got pretty close to that opening, so you should actually be almost at BE still. If I see, well, my stops 2000 there is this. If I look at, my wife did that, and she's now almost, she's about a half hour not in profit right now, so. And if she makes it, she gets a 1.9, yeah, 1.9. Yeah, she only stops when she gets 2 hours a day, so that's her strategy. Once she gets above 2 hours on a day, she does not trade again. Even though it's profitable day, yes or no, doesn't matter for her. She says 2 hours a day is my target. If I get that, I stop for the day. And yeah, so this is why we keep a plan, people. So some people love it this way, some people don't want to put their stops at BE ever, so they actually leave them always where they are. So make sure that your plan is actually to your hand a little bit more than mine. I just tell you exactly how to move and when to act and to do, but you actually do everything. So I actually just point a bit out. You're still trading, so be proud of yourself that you're still actually doing it. You can just sit here and watch and do nothing too. So even though their plan said you had to take it, that would be something different then. But if you took this and you're in it and we're already at break even and everything, so yeah, just let go. Yeah, this actually looks at a good play. It still looks beautiful. That 15 minute. Now this 15 minute does needs to stay up here. That was our last 15 minute for value gap right here that we took. So now I do want to see this stay up there, but actually this, if you look at these two, that third 15 minute is actually these are quite strong actually. Yeah, we probably should not be able to come back under 23,532. That's the max that you can put your stop high. So the maximum that I would take would be this actually. That would be 2 minutes left because we have a 2-minute fair value gap right here, so we can tap this and continue. But that is actually the maximum that would put at 23,529. If you were still not in profit yet from this one, or you're still at break even, or you're not at break even, this is the last one that you can actually put it as high. So that would be the 29. Well, not anything higher than that, because we can still actually take that 2-minute fair value gap right here. We do want this next to go back up there, because that was a strong push down. So we don't want this reaction off of a London high. It's okay that we close for value gap, so we can close this, but then we need that continuation immediately. So in this next 30 seconds I want this candle to close as high to London's high as possible, because we had equal highs. We came in for value gap, we took out the session high, so there are multiple confirmations telling us that the market, if it changes, this should be the point where it should change. But if your stops are BE, relax. Anything that the market gives you is what it will give you, and it's actually nice to be able to spot and follow the plan structured. Even though if you stopped at BE, that's still a good play. We had a beautiful entry, had a nice continuation, and the market just did not want to continue high, that's all, at that point. But if it does continue higher, that is it's actually a full TP. That's actually a 2, that's a 3, at least 3 odd that you could get out of this. So okay, in about 5 minutes I'll let go of the stream. I'll let you guys trade that for yourself a little bit further. If you did take profit at London's high, you're a little bit in profit. If you did not, then you just put your stop at BE right now. Okay, let the market decide what we will get. Like I said, the only place where we could change hand was actually that liquidity, equal highs, for value gap on a 1 hour that we still tapped. We did take the high, so now we should continue. Oh yeah, Dev does ILM. What did you trade, Dev? Can you just share your trade if you want to? You took a short here on this high. $453. Yeah, I know you do a form of change in structure and then back to the lows, or internal structure. Yeah, I was asking you if you actually took it back to the lows, or if you can share your trade with me. Love to take a look which one you actually took. Thanks. Oh yeah, so this was actually London's low, probably, that you took, and you wanted to take it to the high. See me that good? Yeah. So once this actually got swept here, and you got stopped out by actually that wick that came back down, and then actually it continued. Yeah, that can happen. Always nice to see, but actually, yeah, that is actually something you cannot predict. The only thing that you could change is maybe put your stop all the way down, but that makes it a wider stop, of course, so the profits are way less then. But solid trade, man. I would take that any day after liquidity sweep and then continue back to the highs. Very beautiful continuation movement too. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate it. So while we're still hanging around here, so now it's 4 o'clock and this hourly now looks way better if you see it like this. Same for me. Yeah. Yeah. That's nicely said. Same for you. Enjoy. Have a wonderful day. Look, this is actually a beautiful way to trade. We were in an hour and a half, 2 hour stream, and now he says it's done for me. See, if you can let go of your trades like Euros does, you'll also be a very good trader, because trading needs to be able to let go also and trust in the plan that it will follow through. Thank you for being here, Euros, and sharing your thoughts. Actually, what exactly? Say, enjoy. So we're still hanging around here, so this actually still looks good. Reason why is we made a 15 minutes sideways, so if we did want to have a sharp reaction off of this London's high back to the low, we should have done it immediately and not wait for another hour to open actually. So first TP will be hit at 23,582 would be looking at it, but we will probably hit immediately that TP. Still here, if you look at these 15 minutes, we came, we swept, we came again, and now we're actually continuing. So this is actually, you can see how beautiful. We just actually also did change the structure here on a 15 minute fully when we swept the high. Though we made a low, now we made a higher. I would prefer us actually to continue. If that stop is there, where are we at the high? Yeah, I don't see us come back all the way here. There's no way. Just this hourly looks too good. So if we do come back all the way to here, we will go even lower. So the stops could be at that hourlies. Oh, it's 23,532. Actually, that week of the hourly, I would put your stop right here. So you're definitely in profit now. You can close the books if you want to for the trades. First TP would be that 600 level. See if we can hit it. A full TP would be actually just above, just below those highs. So 23,637. So not much that extra. About 37 points. But if you took the trade that's where you started, that should be now at 1.2R. And if you add it, you should be a bit more than 1.2R and profit right now. So people, I hope that everybody that's in trading orb this day today also had the confidence to take this, even though maybe the mindset said the market want to go a bit lower, but you just did follow your plan and just took it. If you did, congratulate yourself, even though if you thought the market wanted to go lower or higher, doesn't matter. If you took it and you followed the plan, good work again. This is how you build up your momentum, slowly, strongly. That's a good foundation that you're building up, and that's what we need as a trader, a good strong mindset and a good foundation so that we learn how to actually constantly repeat certain action. Doesn't mean that you cannot later change the way you trade, but it builds up a huge foundation that you can actually, if you ever modify my way of trading to your own fully hand, that you actually perfectly can do it no matter what, that you can follow your plan also. You will do it immediately afterwards. About 20 points away from our first TP. So let's put up some different music right now. Oh. Was calming, not my style. It's afternoon for me, so I do prefer something better, of a bit stronger of music. So say that your trail stop up. We actually had a small, no we did not. Okay, I thought we had a small for value gap right here. So that would mean that we can trail stop actually even higher. My wife's TP has just been hit, so she took TP right here where we are now. That was her TP. So if anybody would ask, she's out right now full. She added, by the way. So she took a 1.2 plus an adding. Wel helpt. naar. Ze made more than 2 hours on this trade. So if you're still holding, we will see how the market moves. So if it continues, it should continue right here too. No stalling. So another 6 minutes in this 15 minute, and I do want to see us immediately continue further high. So if you add it on 23,561, I would actually put my stop there now, if you're still in the trade. So you actually are with nothing and not profit right now, and then let the trade do stink fully. Even your adding spot is now in PE, so you should actually be fully in profit right now. So that you can see if it hits your full TP or it comes back, and then you have some profits. So by this, I wish you a very great Monday. If you can keep it to first TP, go ahead. We are now fully at stop, should be at 23,561, and I would say enjoy the rest of your NY session. See you back tomorrow morning, of course.